Saturday, May 5th is the Kentucky Derby, America's oldest sporting event that dates back to 1875. It's also called the most exciting 2 minutes in sports, as well as the Run for the Roses. That brought us to Gallagher's Steakhouse in New York City for a Derby seminar and power luncheon that gave us the opportunity to speak with expert handicappers about their take on the big event.
Hi, Mike Beer, Daily Racing Form. Taking a look at the Kentucky Derby for 2012. Very full field of horses as usual. I think a generally speaking more wide open race than we've seen in most recent years anyway. A couple of extremely solid favorites in this race, however, in the form of Bodemeister and Union Rags. Either one of those two horses, to me, very likely to win this race. You want to go outside those two horses. I think there are ways to go. If you're not a big believer, they do have question marks. To me, the horses to go against them with are not their sort of shorter priced counterparts from California. Creative Cause, I'll Have Another. I'll stay away from those horses and try and beat them with horses like Daddy Knows Best, who feels like a much improved horse on the main track, and a horse like El Padrino, who starts for Pletcher. Disappointing in his last, but he has races prior to that could make him very tough in this Kentucky Derby. An open race, a good race, two strong favorites, however.
Hi, my name's Dan Illman from the Daily Racing Form here at Gallagher's Steakhouse to discuss the Kentucky Derby, a true American treasure, and it's a very, very difficult race this year, as my colleague Mike Beer from Daily Racing Form already alluded to. So many quality horses this year. The three-year-old crop of 2012 seems vastly superior at this junction than we've seen in many previous years. Bodemeister is probably going to be the favorite in this race, and he is a very logical contender, but there are question marks surrounding him, as there are with most of the favorites. So perhaps what you might want to do is look for a horse that's a bit of a long shot. I myself am probably going to have to go 5 deep in this race for multi-race purposes. Doulahan to me is a very interesting long shot because the pace should be fast and he figures to be rallying strongly. The Dubai horse Daddy Longlegs is one I get suckered into every year, the UAE Derby runner shipping in for the first time and getting Lasix, but he should get pace as well. He ran terribly at Churchill Downs last year, and it's quite possible he can't handle the dirt. Gemologist is very logical as well. Alpha, the horse that Gemologist beat in the Wood Memorial, he's a little horse that has a lot of guts, and he might be one to run as well. Bodemeister is the favorite. He's very, very logical. He's very, very usable, but you might want to fool around with longer priced horses. Horses like Doulahan, horses like Daddy Longlegs, horses like Alpha.
Hi, my name is Gene Menez, and I'm with Sports Illustrated. Kentucky Derby 2012 is upon us, and as Dan and Mike have alluded to, it's a deep field this year. My top choice in the field is Doulahan, and Doulahan was an accomplished 2-year-old, and over the winter he's improved. If you take a look at his Palm Beach, his return in the Palm Beach, he made this 4-wide move that I think is a Derby-winning move, and in his last race in the Bluegrass he came home strong. I think his style fits this race, and he'll be the one who will be picking up the pieces in the last furlong and will hit the wire first. My second choice here is Union Rags. Union Rags obviously was the favorite in the Derby since finishing a troubled second in the Breeders' Club Juvenile. My only question with him is I'm wondering if he has improved as a 3-year-old. I think that trainer Michael Matz left a little bit of the lemon to be squeezed for the Kentucky Derby, and he'll run a big race on Saturday. And my third choice here is Bodemeister. 2 months ago, as a matter of fact, I put down a future wager on Bodemeister at 75 to 1. Thinking that talented horse from Bob Baffert could make the Derby, and his Arkansas Derby was as impressive a race as we've seen on the Derby Trail. So those are my top 3 choices. It's difficult to separate the rest. You have horses like Gemologist, Daddy Knows Best, Alpha, I'll Have Another, who are all very similar and I think are all worthy of consideration. So those are my selections for Kentucky Derby 2012.
Hi, Anthony Stabile from VegasInsider.com. Kentucky Derby 138 on Saturday. I'm going to go with Alpha. I know he hasn't had the greatest journey on the way to the Triple Crown this year and on the way to the Derby, but I think he'll be able to overcome missing some training because of his infected leg. He's in the hands of one of the in my opinion, one of the best trainers around, Kieran McLaughlin, and I think he's going to sit a great trip behind all the early speed. Alpha to win Kentucky Derby 138. I'm going to spread out underneath this year. Jamal just beat Alpha in the Wood Memorial, their last prep. And I think that Jamalogist is the real deal as well. 5 for 5 in his career. Has already won twice around 2 turns at Churchill Downs. So big edge, in my opinion, over some of the 19 others he's facing on Saturday. So we'll put Jamalogist second. And then for third, I'm going to spread out a little. Bodemeister's been very impressive in a short 4-race career, all running this year. Of course, trying to buck 100 years plus of tradition, having that run as a 2-year-old to win the Derby. So that's a pretty tough task, but if anybody could do it, I think it's Bodemeister. Doulahan has won his 2 starts on synthetic surfaces. Hasn't done much on dirt or turf, but I think his running style and his pedigree are really going to appreciate the 1.25 miles of the Derby. I'll use Doulahan a little bit. Those are my top 4. Alpha, Jamalogist, Bodemeister, and Doulahan in Kentucky Derby 138.
Hi, I'm Dave Johnson, and I do a racing show on Sirius XM Satellite Radio. And the Kentucky Derby is, one of the highlights of the year, and we're looking forward to a 7-hour broadcast, which we hope to really dissect the entire field, horse by horse, jockey by jockey, talk about the trainers. And it's a fascinating field. It's going to be 20 horses, and it's one of the toughest fields that I've ever seen because there are more roads to the Kentucky Derby now. Everybody wants to get in it if they've got a good 3-year-old. And just to get in the race is an accomplishment. So I'm looking forward to a terrific 1.25 miles on Saturday in the Derby. Well, I think there's a horse called Bodemeister, and I haven't had the we haven't had the post position draw yet, but I think he's a real freak. I like him, and until he loses, then I'm going to stay with him. There's a horse called Gemologist, who's undefeated, won the Wood Memorial. He's sort of a horse that I think I can get a decent price on, maybe 8-9 to 1. And Union Rags is the horse that everybody liked last year. And he's disappointed a little bit this year because of his run in the Florida Derby, but I still think that Michael Matz, his trainer, is preparing him for the best race of his career on Saturday, so he'd be my third choice. Bodemeister, Gemologist, and Union Rags. Those are my 1, 2, 3 picks.
Marc Malusis from WFAN and SNY here in New York. And on Saturday, I like Union Rags. I've liked him throughout the course of the spring. I think he got a terrible ride in the Florida Derby. I think you look at what he was able to do in the Fountain Youth. Now you're looking for that one big race, and I trust Michael Matz, his trainer, to really get him going. Listen, I think Le Peru on Saturday at Churchill Downs. Now the horse can get a little antsy, can get a little worked up, can get a little heated up. Le Peru gave him a terrible ride in the Florida Derby. I think he'll give him a much better ride on Saturday. I think you're going to get a great price. I mean, I think Union Rags could be maybe 5, maybe 6 to 1. So I'm taking Union Rags. I like him aboard Alpha, who finished a hard charge in 3rd in the Wood Memorial. I don't like the jockey change as Ramon Dominguez remains with Hansen. It looks like it's going to be Rajiv Mirage on Saturday. But I'd go Union Rags over Alpha, over Bodemeister, and I'd throw in Daddy Longlegs as a long shot for 4th. Good luck.
I'm Kristal Hart reporting from Gallagher's Restaurant, New York City, and thanks for watching.